Except Bafethu, welcome back to another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at the end, not now. Anyways, the reason why you're watching this is because of the title, right? Choosing between contract and permanent as a software engineer or as a software developer, be it front end, back end, don't matter. Which one is better? Which one is the best? All I can say is contracting has more money, and yeah, a lot of us do it for the money. So, anyways, let me get into it. So, here's a checklist before you think about contracting or being a permanent employee. So, you need to understand why they pay you so much, right? So, obviously, this is where we talk about income stability. So, with contracting, income varies per month, whereas with permanent, it's fixed every month. And with short-term earnings, you obviously will always earn more on a contract versus on a permanent because it's fixed, remember. So medical aid benefits and RRA or all of those pension fund, you need to do it yourself on a contract, but on a permanent you would need the employee to do it for you. And career growth also self-driven, as well as on permanent it's structured in a way. That's why they have career days at work. Yeah, that one. But anyways, you have admin. The admin that you have to do as a self-employed or a contractor is very high compared to a person who's working for a permanent company. It's slim. Lastly, the loan part or accessing financial loans and all of that. It's harder to do it or to get it as a contractor compared to a person who's a permanent, because remember, they get us a payslip on a month to month basis. Cool. So this is the part where everybody clicked the video for, right? Where we're gonna be talking about the pros and cons of doing a contracting. And number one on our list is high pay. So contracting always pays more, and by default, it will pay more. You don't like often you find contractors earning 3 times, 4 times than a normal Joe who's working on a permanent position. For example, some that earn per hour about 6 to 1,000 rand. If you do the maths, you'll see that they earn quite a amount of money. Number two, with flexibility. So the flexibility to be able to work remotely, and choose projects and avoid corporate politics. That's what a lot of guys get away with, if they're on a contract. The the exposure to global markets, right? So a lot of people end up, contracting for companies that are outside of South Africa. So this isn't South African terms. So if you're a contractor, you can end up, working for a company in the US, contracting through another company and so on. So that's also a pro. And then lastly, the tax part. Those guys always get away with the money, with the tax money. So there's a way in which you can optimize tax. So what a lot of people do, they have a company that they work under, which is their own company. They pay themselves money that is not taxed. This is why they don't get the loan. And because of that, remember, as a business, for those that don't know, businesses get taxed based on the profit. The profit, somewhere like that. Accountants, please help me there down below on the comments. Anyways, if you still like the content that I'm sharing, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, cool. Now let's get into the cons, which is So number one on the list, you have job security. There's definitely no guarantee that you'll always be employed as a contractor, but you can be if you're a specialist, if you have a rare skill, if something that you have, like you're very good at it, and wherever you go, man, like you leave that mark. You have that advantage. And then number two, you don't have benefits. So a lot of people don't have benefits. Not a lot. Contractors don't have benefits because the company, if you're earning 58K, you invoice the company 58K per month. Help me. You'll get 58K as is with no tax, nothing at all, because that's how contracting works. So you'll always have all the money. So you need to also do your own benefits and. So on number three, you have a lot of admin to do, right? So that is going to be given, because now you have to do your own tax. You need to do your own, applying for a retirement fund. You need to do your own application for medical aid. Like, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that a company would do for you now that you have to do it for yourself. And also you have like somewhat limited career growth. Well, not limited per se, but somewhat limited, because you have to pay for your own upskilling. You need to pay for your own career development, where else with corporate companies or with permanent employment, companies do incentivize you to go and study and pay all of that. So cool, let's wrap it. Contracting is great when you are chasing the money and when you want to get to a certain salary quicker, so that by the time you switch to a permanent, you'll be earning big bucks. Cool. So let's now jump into the benefits of a permanent employment. The one that we all be waiting for, which is where some of us fall under. Because of, number one, financial stability. Yes, financial stability. You always have fixed income. And besides that, there's a lot of benefits, man, that a lot of people who are contracting don't get. And we get those. And the kind of benefits that we get is your 13 check, your bonus, you have your annual increases. Some companies do give you annual increases. You have medical aid contribution. You also have, did I mention medical aid? So medical aid, pension fund, 13 check, annual salary increase, right? So also those are the ones that do contribute much into people having that stability of staying in permanent jobs. And most of us happen to have landed in those permanent jobs, not by choice, but because we do not qualify to be in a contracting role. Because the thing about contracting roles is that they require you to be more of a senior person who is well knowledgeable, who specializes. So if you're still a junior, don't go to contracting, because you'll probably drown, because that's the deep end. Remember, it's like the more work you put, the more money you'll earn. But if you know what I'm saying. Oh yes, before I forget, also another advantage of working for a company with a permanent contract is that you also have your leave, annual leave, and you have sick leave, you have paid leave, you have study leave. Contractors don't have that, so that's also an advantage. And also, unfortunate con, or the bad side of permanent job is you get to experience company politics and the rest of the other negativity part of company. And what else? What am I missing? Let's see. You might get retrenched. Just because it's not a contract, that doesn't mean the job is secured. Because that's a misconception that most of us have, that this job is guaranteed and I'll always be hired. But they can always terminate your contract, or they can say they're no longer making money. Layoffs, we've seen with the US, the layoffs and stuff. So just to wrap up everything, and thank you guys for staying on the video while I shy you guys. I'm joking. But anyways, one of the key things that I've learned, and one of the key things that I want to share, is that, contracting is bad. It's not bad. Neither is permanent. At the end of the day, it's up to you as an individual what exactly you want. If you're chasing for money, you can start with, contracting. And then when you see that you can't keep up, you can come back to permanent, where there's now stability, especially people that have families. You don't have the time to be continuously learning, because with contracting, you're required to be continuously learning. So you cannot relax to some extent. So in conclusion, guys, I sound like a pastor. In conclusion, all I can say is the choice is yours. Both sides have negative side of it, and they both have positive side of it. It's up to you what positive side you want and which one will benefit you in the long run and in the short run. But by default, in the short run, contracting is going to benefit you. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Cheers.